This is my real plan to retire early. No fluff, let's get into it. Yo, what is going on, premium chasers? I hope you are having a God blessed day. Today, every single person is going to get the ebook that we're going to be going through in today's video that covers my entire retirement plan. I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible, but also being able to create an active income. So if you want this full retirement blueprint that I put together, go ahead and drop a comment down below. I'll personally send it to you. You can edit it, do what you want with it, add your own spin onto it, which you absolutely should. And while you're down there, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. But guys, today it's all about retirement, right? A lot of people that I talk to here on the channel, we all have either dreams of retiring early, or a lot of people, especially that I work with, are already like right at retirement or already retirement. So I kind of want to show you guys kind of like what I'm gonna do and what I am doing right now to retire early. And I keep things as simple as possible, guys. That is why I started this channel. I think finance bros make things extremely complicated. And especially like day traders and all this nonsense. I don't know about you, but I need things that fit into my lifestyle, things that are like kind of, quote unquote, as passive as possible, okay? But let's get into it. So first and foremost, let's talk about my core holdings, okay? My core holdings are the things that I basically buy every 2 weeks. I am, have everything on SoFi right now, where every 2 weeks, money gets taken from my account and I buy into a 5-fund Vanguard portfolio. Now, guys, if there's anything that I'm missing in today's video, listen, this whole channel, it's not about me, it's about us, right? So if there's something that you see, hey Pete, maybe you're missing out on some gains here, bro, like you're missing something, let me know, guys. I'm not a guru here, okay? Listen, so my thing is here is like collaborate, go in our Facebook group, links in the description, join us for free there, right? Like post your ideas and stuff like that. That's what this is about. All of us can win at this together, all right? We just got to share and share all those things. So this is my 5-fund Vanguard portfolio. A lot of you have asked me about this. Why do I like this? Well, I believe, with the help of a little ChatGPT, that this, right, is the best five, if I only could pick 5 funds, right, that don't have a tremendous amount of overlap, right? Especially with like Vanguard funds or Schwab or whatever you do, right? A lot of those funds, there's a tremendous amount of overlap in them, okay? And in my opinion, these 5 don't really create. Now, there's, of course, a little bit, but it's not as drastic, all right? So the first one is VTI, right? And that is the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF, right? Gives me that broad exposure to U.S. stocks, right? The next one gives me the international exposure, and that is ticker symbol VXUS, right? That gives me a little bit more exposure to the global markets outside of just focusing on the U.S. Now, the gains on VXUS, they ain't the best, but still, right? This fund here is about diversification, okay? It's about diversification. I'm not looking for moonshots or return on collateral or anything like that. These are set, forget. I'm not selling options on this. I'm not doing anything like that with this portfolio. It's simply buy, it's retirement, it's for my kids, it's whatever. It's money that I hope to honestly never actually have to touch. I'll be honest with you. Like this is like something I'll hand down to my kids one day. It's not something I hope I have to ever pull out of, okay? The next one is VYM. Now, this is more of the a focus on the dividends, right? This is more like income-based focus, right? So it's usually higher dividend yielding stocks that are in this portfolio, and it's just focused on that consistent dividend payment, hopefully accelerating that growth of the entire portfolio, okay? The next one is VIG, okay? A lot of you have heard this one. This is Dividend Appreciation ETF, and it holds companies with a track record of growing dividends, right? Think dividend aristocrats, right? Dividend kings and stuff like that. I am a very big dividend investor. That's how I really got focused on income generation with the stock market. I was silly enough to think that I could ever retire early on simply dividends. And honestly, that led me to actually a tremendous amount of losses because I would go into stocks that, offer a big dividend, but I didn't know that there was massive risks on it. So now I mainly just focus on like dividend king, or really just like funds like this, and really just stable blue chip companies that have dividends. If something's giving you like 10+% dividend, right there, you have to understand that there's a reason that they're doing that, and there is usually a big risk. There's no such thing as free money in the stock market, okay? Don't let anybody tell you. But I like to have VYM and VIG in my monthly buy portfolio. And then I have VPU, which is the utility ETF, right? Defensive, stable, and again, focusing on that income. For me, it's all about creating income from these portfolios and reinvesting them. Now, that leads me to another point. Some of you may ask is, are you just reinvesting all of this money back into these stocks? Yes, that is exactly what I'm doing. So any of like the dividends that are made here, it's just being reinvested back into VIG, VYM, VXUS, VTI, and VPU. It just gets reinvested right back into them, okay? I need to create passive things for myself that fit into my lifestyle. That's the kind of, investor I am, right? But at the same time, I still want to be involved in the markets. I really want to scratch that itch because I really enjoy the stock market, but I don't have the time to be day trading 8 hours Monday through Friday. I just don't, okay? With kids, family, business, just things that aren't like that for me, right? If they are for you, fantastic, okay? So let's move into the number 2, and this is the emergency fund, right? This is where we start talking about the high yield savings account, okay? This is key. There's a bunch of great high yield savings account out there, guys. And it doesn't honestly matter to me which one you use. You can use American Express, has a great one, pays you out monthly on your money. You can use Robinhood Gold, I believe, does it as well. Fidelity, pretty much everybody does it at this point. You'll just want to make sure that they're offering you some sort of payment. I like the ones that are paid out on a monthly basis, okay? That way, if I ever need it, right, I have it there for myself. Again, this is money I hope to not actually have to use, but it's just sitting there and it's just compounding over and over and over on itself. Again, pick your poison with this one. It's really simple. I personally treat this as my emergency fund though. So I like to hopefully keep there, 3 to 6 months, usually not 6 months, like around 3 months of money in there in case anything crazy happens. I'm able to just pull some money out of that real quick. This is, again, the emergency fund. I'm not going to go and sell stuff in my core holdings, right? This is my emergency fund, right? So I keep some money in here and it's compounding, right? That money that I'm being paid monthly from the high yield savings account is simply just being reinvested into that bucket. And it's just sitting there. It's simply sitting there and just growing. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's it. That's all that's happening, okay? And again, for me, this is more of just a liquidity play, right? When life happens, I don't want to touch my investments. I don't want to be able to have to stop investing, okay? So the third one is kind of similar, right? In regard, it just offers about a percentage, maybe 2% better return as opposed to a high yield savings account, and that is T-bills, okay? You can buy T-bills on pretty much every platform. I like Schwab personally, but it really doesn't matter. You can Google exactly how to buy T-bills, right? I like to do stuff most of the time 4 or 3 month ones, okay? That's just me. Sometimes I'll do 6 month ones depending on what kind of rate I'm going to actually be getting. Now, I do treat these as well as a bit of an emergency fund. But however, if that emergency happens and I just open up a T-bill, I don't want to give more of that money back to get my money back, right? So usually this is more like the second safety net, I would say, right? So emergency fund first, right? T-bills second, okay? And usually you're getting about 1%, maybe a little bit closer to 2% more on your Treasury bills as compared to your high yield savings account. Again, pick your poison. I like to sometimes do monthlies on these. I sometimes like to do there's no rhyme or reason, really. I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes I'll do 3 months, sometimes I'll do 6. That's usually my max is where I'm going out is about 6 months. But again, it's all about the rate. It's all about what I believe is going to happen with the economy at that time. So I can't just there's no blanket statements, unfortunately. Investing, as we see in this market, things can change really, really quickly. But again, this is for me, again, just another safety layer. Me now with, 3 kids, home, right, life. Like I trade and invest a lot different than when I did literally just 5 years ago when my first daughter came. I was way more degenerate back then. And who knows, maybe when I'm older and my kids are out of the house, I will, my degeneracy will return to me. But I hopefully not. I really focus on building a solid foundation here, guys. And honestly, I found the less you do, the safer you are. And I can't stress that enough. I know we all get blinded by the people on Instagram flashing, they're trading, they're making $100,000 a month trading. Listen, guys, whatever. Go down that rabbit hole if you must. If you like reality, you like being grounded in reality, right? welcome, subscribe to the channel. Also, if you do want this spreadsheet, feel free, just drop a comment. I'll personally respond to you with the link and you can download this here for yourself, okay? Now, fourth, this is called the income layer. This is the active income layer, and this is where the quad option strategy comes into play. When I think about retirement, I think about how do I make money without working? All right. And the last thing I want to do, remember what I said, I don't want to touch my emergency funds. I don't want to touch my Treasury bill money. And then I don't want to touch my core holdings. So you're probably thinking, Pete, well, then how are you going to like live? How are you going to actually make enough money to buy groceries or, pay for, some expenses, right? Or that come up, or a car, whatever, vacations. Well, that's where quad options comes in for me. Okay. And by that time, I'm hoping I'm even better at selling options in however many years, right? So this is where I get a lot more active, right? Now, when I say a lot more active, I don't mean a lot more active. I mean obviously I do this way more now, and my game has gotten way better because I started this channel talking all things quad options, selling options. I have our private mastermind group that I lead every single morning and throughout market hours. So like I'm pretty much at the pinnacle of committing my time to this already, right? And I love it, right? I love nerding out about this stuff. But this is where I'm a little bit more active and creating active income, right? This is income that I plan to be able to live off of and fund my lifestyle, right? Without having to go into my first three. And I call this the quad option strategy because there's 4 ways I'm making money essentially with this, okay? Now, there are 4 key components to this, right? The first one is the cash secured put. I'm basically selling puts here that I want to buy a stock at a lower price and collect a premium up front for it, okay? Now, I'm not going to be showing you all the visuals and stuff in this video, guys. I do have like visual presentations on this. The first link in the description of today's video, it has about a 30-minute video diving into quad option strategy. This is more high-level overview of like the 4 things that I'm going to be using to retire, right? So the first thing is I'm deciding at what price I want to purchase a stock or an ETF at and get paid a premium up front. That premium is given to me up front that I can then use for whatever I want. I can literally swipe a card and use that money. I can transfer it. I can literally do whatever I want with it, right? But with that said, obviously, if a stock reaches that price at the expiration date that I choose, I would have to buy those shares, right? I would have to buy those shares at that price, but that's okay because I got it at a discount and I got paid for saying maybe, right? The second one is the covered call. Let's say you do end up having to get assigned from your cash secured put. Now you have 100 shares or 1,000 shares of your stock, depending on how many contracts you did. Well, the covered call now lets me sell those shares I just bought for a higher price, and you guessed it, collect some more premium along the way, right? Everything, that's why we're called the premium chasers, baby. So that's where I can collect my covered call premium. So then I wait my 30 days or whatever I set my expiration. Maybe it's weekly, right? Maybe it's 2 weeks, whatever it is at the time that I did. I can then collect that premium up front. And then if my shares, right, actually get to that level on my expiration date, I will sell my shares, recoup all of my money from buying the shares on my cash secured put, plus I have premium. Now we also collect dividends here as well, similar to like the VYM and VIG, right? When we are selling covered calls on our 100 shares, we're also collecting the dividend as long as we own those shares before the ex-dividend date, right? There's a lot of strategy that goes into that as well, but it's nice because we might be collecting, 2 to 8% on some of the stocks that we like to do or I like to do. So that's fantastic, right? We're collecting that dividend premium as well. And then lastly is the appreciation sale. When our covered call actually sells our shares, we will make an appreciation sale. Again, we're recouping all the money from our original cash secured put, and then we just run the play over and over and over again. And honestly, this is something that fits into my lifestyle well because I trade maybe a few times a week, if that, a few times a month, 5-10 times a month, right? And I'm really just waiting around and seeing what happens, right? So let's just take an example. Let's say you sold a cash secured put on VTI, right, at a 230 strike, and you got paid $180 of premium, right? That gives you about a 1% return in 30 days. Now I used VTI as our example because it's not like a SoFi or a Palantir where you're getting like 4, 5, 6% return on your collateral. This to me, when I'm doing this in my retirement years to create active income, boys, Stay subscribed because you're gonna see. I found my first gray hair in my beard, and you're gonna see me when I got my full gray beard in like 20 years when I'm still shooting this channel. You guys ain't even gonna hear me say a single stock. Everything I'm gonna be doing is gonna be doing like 0.5, 1% return stuff, because at that point I'm not chasing big ROI on collaterals anymore, right? I'm not doing that. I'm simply focusing on how much money do I need to make on a weekly basis to pay for XYZ expenses, right? And if it's only 0.8%, 0.5%, why would I go do something risky that's paying me 4 or 5% ROI on my collateral? Of course, the argument is more money, fantastic, grow faster. But by this time, and my goal is really, by the time 45, 50, right, that I'm going to be able to just really go all in on this, right, with like multi 7-figure, really, for my goal is to have a $10 million portfolio running this strategy on. But with this, I don't need to do degenerate things anymore. I can go so low on Delta. I can, it's nothing, because I'm going to be paid so much, as long as obviously there's the open interest in it. So if I'm assigned now to own VTI, I'm going to turn around and sell covered calls, right, at 240, right? I bought them at 230. I'm going to sell them at 240. I'm going to collect more premium. Meanwhile, if I'm owning VTI before that ex-dividend date, I'm going to collect that dividend as well. And if I get stuck holding VTI, bro, you think I'm going to be upset about that? No. Why would I be? Now, again, VTI is boring to trade right now. We don't really do it much, right? Because right now we want to focus more on higher ROI on our collateral and putting our money to work a lot more for us, right? And then, baby, what are we doing? We're rinsing and repeating. Guys, if you want this full ebook, drop a comment down below. I'll personally respond to you with. And if you think this stuff is helpful, guys, I hope you do. Hit that like and subscribe button. If you want a more handheld approach with me personally and an amazing group of option sellers, I want you to click the first link in the description of today's video. Not only will you get a 30 to 40 minute class that goes into all the things about quad options, but you'll be able to book a call with me and my team to get you inside of our option seller school. There are 2 requirements here for option seller schools. Obviously, you need to have money, guys. The more money you have to sell options, the more your gains are. So if you're on your last dollar and stuff, trust me, I'm sorry, this channel is not for you, right? But go get a job, go figure out your life, right? And then come back to us, right? This is more of a play where, yes, it takes money to make money, and the more money you have, the better, right? Second thing, you can't be toxic. If you're toxic, listen to me. We're not going to want you, and we're going to filter you out. That's why we talk to every single person we invite inside of option seller school, right? So if you're not cool, you're not chill, right? You're not a vibe, right? Like, I don't want you. Like, realistically, I really want to have like cool, fun live events with our entire community, hopefully at golf resorts, because me and my daughter, we love golfing. But with that said, like, if I can't hang around with you for 4 hours, like let's just say for a round of golf or getting some drinks and having a good time, you're probably not a fit. All right. But we'll figure that out for ourselves, and we'll invite you if we think it's a good fit and get you in a week or so. So click that first link in the description of today's video. Guys, remember, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.